Welcome to a new live watercolor tutorial. Today we'll be painting 3 easy watercolor flowers for beginners. So let's get started. If you're watching live, feel free to say hi in the chat and share with us where you're from and if you'll be painting along with me today or if you're just hanging out. Hi. It looks like we have Barbara. Barbara is here. Nastasia is here. Hi. Hi, Sydney. Good morning. Okay, so yeah, I am kind of fixing my camera here. It will shake for a minute. All right, so we will be painting 3 types of loose watercolor flowers, and these are going to be super easy, and this will be a very relaxing and easy tutorial for you guys. So we'll be painting loose lavender like this, and roses like this, and then flowers, like yellow flowers like this. And before we get started, I will go over my supplies with you. So the paper I have, this is cold press watercolor paper from Arches, and these are just scraps from when I cut my larger paintings, and so this is a great way to use up your watercolor scraps. And these I trimmed to size 4x6, and I used my edge rounder here to round the edges. And all of the supplies are linked in the description below for you guys too. And this one here, I didn't use an edge rounder because I am thinking I might make this a little smaller later on, so we'll see. So here are the colors I plan on using. The palettes, or the palette I'm using is called, what is it? Vintage Pastels from Art Philosophy. And I will be using, as you can see, purple, pink, and yellow, but you can make your flowers any kind of color you want. Hi Kizzy and Fallon. Art by Izzy is here. Yay, and she'll be painting with me. Sarah is here. Joyce is here. So happy to see you guys. Okay, so, oh, I didn't tell you my brushes. I'm using my silver black velvet brushes. These are wonderful for loose flowers. Before I had these, I tried my Princeton Neptune brushes for loose flowers, and it was way more difficult. And once I got these, painting loosely is easier. I honestly don't know why. Maybe it's like the very fine pointy tips on them, but yeah, I'll be using these brushes here. Hi everyone. Okay, so I think we will first start with this one here because this is the easiest. So I feel like this will be a great warm-up flower for us. And I will go ahead and use this sheet of paper here. And let's see, we want to mix 2 types of purple. We want a lighter purple and a darker purple. Hi. Oh, your name is Sarah. Hi, Sarah. And Laura is here. Hi, Laura. How is everyone today? Are you happy it is Friday? I sure am. Okay, so the purple here I'm using, actually all of the paints I'm using for these flowers is a Vintage Pastels pan set. If you don't have this, you can use whatever kind of paints you have. If you want to make your colors pastel looking, you can mix white gouache in them. Or if you have white watercolor paint, mixing that into your paints will make them a pastel-like version. So I have this darker purple here, and then the lighter purple I'm using this here. I don't know the exact name of it in this pan set, but it's basically the darker purple and then the lighter purple in this pan set I'm using. Barbara says that she is happy to paint with me today. Well, I am happy to paint with you today. Laura says, I'm super happy it's Friday. What about you? Do you have nice plans for the weekend? Let's see, what do I have planned? I plan on vlogging a little bit this weekend for an upcoming vlog next week. I'm thinking of making bookmarks, and then I have cleaning to do, and I might, yeah, I don't really know yet. Basically cleaning and painting. Those are my plans. What about you, Laura? Okay, so I'm taking some of this lighter purple here, adding water to it. I want it to be pretty light and with lots of water. And I'm using my size 2 round brush here. And this is kind of what we will be painting. So, okay. So I think I'm first going to paint maybe one lavender down here, and then one up here, and maybe one up here, like 2 or 3 larger ones, kind of like flowing this way, and then maybe a few smaller ones over here. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So I'm going to start in this bottom left corner here, and we're just going to, let's see. Okay. We're just going to dab our brush, little brush marks to kind of mimic the shape of lavender. Okay. Oops, I just dipped my brush in my darker purple. It's okay. And we want to kind of work fast. Okay, and I'm going to have my other brush here, my size 4 round brush, and this will have my darker purple. And as I work, I will kind of dab in some darker purple. Because I don't know, like I feel like when I paint or try to paint loose flowers, my paint dries fast. Even if I use like Arches paper, I feel like it still kind of dries fast. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't use enough water, but then like I can't do my, like have my colors blend very nicely. Okay, so yeah, so this is just the first layer. We'll let this dry, and then we will add more to this. So yeah, I'm just kind of going over some areas, rendering them a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, I'm hoping these flowers will be super easy for you guys because they're not very difficult for me, and I am I'm not very good with loose flowers. Unfortunately, I wish I was. Okay, and then I'm gonna take more of this lighter purple and add water to it, and we're going to paint another one. Hi Shelly. Shelly says, good morning, Allison. I'm looking forward to learning how to paint loose flowers with you. I'm a bit of a micromanager. Painting loose is not easy for me. It is not for me either, Shelly. Like, it's so difficult for me, and I don't know what it is, but it is. Painting it realistically is easier for me. Okay, I'm going to paint another lavender, kind of a little bit higher, and maybe this one will be more kind of curved. So again, we're doing the same thing. I'm just kind of dabbing my brush. I'm trying to use a lot of water with my paint, and I'm just dabbing my brush on my paper, kind of shaping the lavender flower. Okay, I tried to make it a little curved. Didn't really work out. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my darker lavender or darker purple color with my other brush and dab that in some areas, into the lighter purple a little bit, but then also on parts of the white of my paper too. So some areas blend and other areas don't. And then I kind of add some more down here. Okay. And then again, I am taking my lighter purple and we're going to paint another one. Maybe a little bit, maybe like kind of in between these. I'm thinking that's kind of what I'll do. This is more of just like a little fun, relaxing painting session. I'm not too worried if these lavenders don't turn out like super perfect. This is just supposed to be fun. So this one, I'm going to kind of have it be like it's behind this one here. Okay, and then I'm taking my other brush that has that darker purple and I'm kind of dabbing it into that lighter purple and then also in some parts of the white of my paper. Let's see. Sarah says, I'm from Malaysia. Where are you from? I am from Indiana. Not that exciting. It's nice to meet you. Okay, now I'm taking my lighter purple and I'm going to paint another lavender kind of a little higher up here in this corner. And I'm just dabbing my brush, kind of trying to form the shape loosely. This one will also kind of appear a little bit behind this lavender right here. And I'm taking my other brush with that darker purple and dabbing it in. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to do one more lavender. I'm doing more than I thought I would. And it's going to be more like down here, like right here. Have you guys ever painted loose flowers before? Let me know. Or is this your first time? I prefer to paint realistically, but I feel like it would be fun to get better at painting loosely too. Because it's kind of fun to like play around with colors, let them bleed together, and just not really care too much about making things like super detailed. All right, and I might add more later on to this, but for now, I'll just have these five lavenders. Okay, now we're going to go back over them and add a little bit more to them. I'm reading some of your comments here. Laura says that she plans on cleaning and playing a computer game and painting this weekend. That sounds fun, Laura. Shelly says that she is from, okay, I can't pronounce where you're from. It's Saskatoon, Canada. Kizzy says, I'm planning to do laundry, paint, and do some baking, and yummy for our tummies. What are you planning on baking, Kizzy? Oh, Nastasia is also from okay, I can't say where you're from. I'm sorry. Saskatchewan? Yeah, Shelly and Nastasia, you both are Nature with Watercolor members. Isn't that fun? You both are members. Okay. Now I'm taking this darker purple and I'm going to go back over parts of the first lavender here, and I'm just going to add some more detail. This time I'm not mixing as much water into this purple here, and I'm trying to use the tip of my brush, trying to yeah, just make this look more refined. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the lighter purple. And I'm still going to use a lot of water. I want this to be light, so I'm mixing a lot of water in here. And I'm just gonna drop some here and there, kind of blend it into parts of that darker purple to like soften it up. Like that. May add a little bit more over here. Okay. And I'm taking this darker purple again, and I'm going into this lavender. Then I am taking my lighter purple, dabbing that in, blending it into parts of that darker lavender. Let them kind of bleed together a little bit. And notice how I'm still leaving parts of the white on my paper. That's important because we don't want to paint everywhere. We want some of the white of our paper to still show through. Oh, Shelly wants to know what paper I'm using. I'm using cold pressed watercolor paper from Arches. These are just scraps from when I cut my larger paintings, and I cut them to a size 4x6, and then I rounded the edges. Okay, taking more of this darker purple. This time I think I might first start with the lighter purple and then the darker purple. So I am taking this lighter purple now. Just dabbing it in some areas on this lavender, and then this darker purple, dabbing it into where I had that lighter purple so that it kind of bleeds together. And then I'm also adding this in other areas too. Yeah, Izzy, Arts by Izzy. She says that she has painted loose flowers before, but it's really hard for her. Well, I'm glad I am not the only one that it's difficult for. Um, here, it always seemed like it was so easy for a lot of people. But yeah, I'm okay. Now I don't feel so alone. Yeah. So hopefully this tutorial helps not just you guys, but also me become better at loose flowers. Okay, so I went in with my lighter purple again, and now I'm taking my darker purple, dabbing that in. I'm still trying to leave some white of my paper too. Like I don't want to paint everywhere. Okay, and now this last one. And then we'll add a little bit of green, like greenery, and then we will move on to the next flower. So again, I'm going in with that lighter purple, just dabbing it in a few areas, not really everywhere. Then this darker purple. Okay. And then I might go along the edges on some of these lavenders. Add a little bit more detail. My purple's a little bit more pink because I had some pink in my purple color, my purple paint. I actually kind of like it with the purple. Okay. Kizzy says that she plans on baking a cake, one with chocolate and one with apple. That sounds so delicious. Shelly says, I've tried to paint loose flowers, but they are really hard for me too. Hi, Joan. Joan says, happy to be here. Big hi from Ontario, Canada. Enjoy all your videos. Aw, I'm so glad you like them. Barbara says, I'm making tests in my coloring book to see if I can paint these, to see if I can paint loose flowers with watercolors without damaging the paper. Well, let us know how that goes. Hi, Liz. Liz says, I am going to do some loose flowers around my birds. I'm going to loosely follow some patterns from this I inherited from a dear friend. There are only 5 different ones left. I think these will look really nice with the birds. If you don't know, we recently did a watercolor bird challenge. It ended a few days ago, but you can still join it if you want. I will link it in the description of this video if you wanted to check it out. All right, next we're going to add a little bit of greenery. So here you can see I added like a green stem and then some green leaves. So I am going to use my size 4 round brush for the green. And the green I'm using is the green that's in this Vintage Pastels pan set. And I'm just placing it on my palette here, mixing a lot of water. I want this to be very wet. There's a chance I might mix another color into this green to give it some variation. And as I am adding this to my palette, I'm trying to think what I want to add. Maybe this color here is kind of like a brownish, grayish green. So maybe I'll add some of that in this. So if you want, you can mix two different kinds of greens that you want to use. And then now I'm using my size 2 round brush to take some of this color here, and I think I'll just add it to my palette right here. So I'm working with two different brushes. One has one color and the other has the other color. Okay. I'm first going to start with the stem of these lavenders. So I'm going to be using the very tip of my brush to make the stem. And I'm just going to start kind of a little bit into the lavender like this, and then down. Okay. Actually, I don't really like this. I'm going to kind of wipe that away. So I'm going to kind of the, like where the green stem meets up with the flower, I'm going to kind of blend that a little bit so it kind of like isn't as, like it doesn't stick out as much. Let's see. Shelly says, your lavender is looking so pretty, Allison. I have to go now. I'm sad to miss the entire live tutorial, but happy to know I can watch and paint later. Thank you for helping me loosen up. You're welcome, Shelly. Take care. Have a great weekend. Okay, so I'm taking this green here that I mixed with my size 4 round brush. And now I'm just going to add leaves in some areas, and I'm going to try and go off of this. So these leaves just kind of float around. I might have more down here than up here. I'm going to start like right here, and I'm going to start like at the very tip of the leaf with my brush, and I'm pushing down on my brush, moving it towards me, and then pushing up. And then I'm going to kind of refine some areas. Okay. And I'm going to take this other color. It's kind of more like a light yellow brown. I'm going to drop that in. Then kind of make a little stem. Then I'll paint another leaf like over here. So again, I first use the very tip of my brush, push down, push up, tip, down, up. I don't know, I don't really like this one as much. This is supposed to be fun. Okay, I think I might add another leaf like here. Okay, drop in my other color. Okay. Let's see. How are you guys doing with your lavenders? I don't know. I don't know how much I like my background. I might add some grass too, maybe, and some paint splatter. So I guess we'll figure this out together. I'm going to take this green again with my size 2 round brush, and I'm going to make little grasses. Okay, yeah, I don't know how this is turning out. Okay. And then maybe I'll try some paint splatters. Let's see, I'm gonna take my size 4 round brush for paint splatters. You want to be sure you have a lot of water. So I'm putting my brush in my water jar and adding water here to my purple. I'm adding more purple here now, and then more water. Okay. So yeah, you want to be sure you have a lot in your brush. And then you want to put your finger out like this, but beware, you might splatter things like on your desk. So you want to be sure if there's anything you don't want to get paint on, you want to move that. And then you just hit it on your finger, on top, like above your painting. Okay, that didn't really work out. Okay, let's do this. So that's fun. Yeah, okay. I kind of like that. Okay. I think we're done with this for now. So let's move on to the next flower. What do you guys think of the paint splatters? Okay. So I think this next flower, we'll do the rose, which is this. Kind of what this is. Shelly says, I started watercolor in April 2020. I'm so happy I found Allison. She's helped and encouraged me so much. Oh, Shelly, that means a lot. Thank you. Art by Izzy says, I'm so happy that I am using this color palette from Art Philosophy the first time for a real painting. Before just swatches. Nice. So you actually have this exact palette? That's fun. Yeah, I haven't really used just this palette for a painting. Like, I always use a few colors here and there with other colors from different palettes. Nastasia says, sorry, Allison, I have to go already. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and take care. You too. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started on the next flower, we're going to do the artist spotlight. Yay. Okay, so we're going to take a very quick break here, do the artist spotlight. If you're new to this channel, every live video, we feature an artist who has completed one of the tutorials. So if you want to have the chance to be featured, all you have to do is use the hashtag AllisonLyonArtTutorial on Instagram, and you may have the chance to be featured. Okay, so I'm trying to bring up the artist I am featuring here, which is Crafty Bones. Crafty Bones. So this is her Instagram. She did my bird challenge, and they're all, oh, so beautiful. But she did my deer tutorial, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So beautiful. So if you want to support her and check out her Instagram, I linked it below in the description for you guys. So yeah. Okay, that was fun. Let's continue on with the tutorial. Yeah, Laura, I know her art is so beautiful. Okay. Sorry, I have to adjust my camera. Ugh, okay. All right, so now we are on the rose. This one might be a little bit more difficult than the other ones. At least it is for me. So we're going to do a composition basically just like this. So a larger rose and then a smaller one up above. So we want to mix kind of like two different colors. Okay, so I'm going to take my size 4 round brush here, and I'm going to use this pink here. It's kind of like a dusty pink, and it's so beautiful, and it's perfect, just perfect for roses, I feel like. So I'm going to take this color here and add it to my palette, add some water to it. And so with my size 4 round brush, this will be the brush I use for this color. And then I am going to drop in another color as I paint this rose. And the other color is, I have to figure out what color I used. Oh, it's this one here. It's kind of like a sandy pastel brown. So I'm adding this to my palette too. So I'm working with 2 different brushes. And we want to have a lot of water because we don't want our rose to dry too quickly. We want to be able to have time to paint it and then drop in other colors into it. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that I have a lot of water in my paint. Okay. Hi Grain, how are you? I'm so happy to see you. It's been a while. Art by Izzy says, yes, I have the same palette, but I didn't know what to paint with them. This tutorial helps me a lot right now to get more inspiration for new paintings. Great. Thanks, Heidi. Heidi says the rose looks so delicate. Thank you. So this rose, when we paint these roses, guys, it is 2 layers. So this first layer will be just, you know, the basic layer. And then when that dries, we will add another layer to the roses. Okay, so I'm taking my size 4 round brush with this pink, and we are going to get started. So we first, I'm kind of starting at the lower half of my painting here, or my paper, and then more towards the left. So it's kind of like this. So that this rose is towards the bottom left. And we want to start with kind of like an oval shape like this, okay? And then we want to kind of make another one, but like around it like this, but a little larger. And then now I'm dipping my brush in my water jar, dabbing it on my paper towel. I didn't clean it all the way. There's still some pink left. And then we kind of just want to make spirals around the rose like this. And then as we paint, the rose will get lighter. towards the outside. And then the inner side, the rose is darker. But like I said, this is just the first layer. So yeah, it doesn't look entirely perfect right now. And I'm going to drop in a little bit of this brown color, mix that in a little bit. And then I'm just making spirals. And as I go more towards the outer edge, my brush marks become larger. And so we're just kind of very lightly making the shape of the rose. Okay, and then I'm going to drop in more of this other color here before my paint dries, and it's already drying. If it's like this, it's already drying, take your brush, kind of like move it around. And yeah, so this is just, as I said, the first layer. It looks, yeah, it doesn't look too great, but we'll let this dry. We'll add another layer when this is dry. In the meantime, we will continue with the rose up here. Liz says, yeah, Crafty Bones, do you have a name? Gosh, I feel like I knew her name, but I can't remember it at the top of my head right now. Okay, now I am going to do the same thing for this other rose. So with my size 2 or my size 4 round brush, I'm getting this darker pink here, this dusty pink. And then with this other brush, this is my size 8 round brush. I'm getting kind of like a peachy brown looking color. All right, so we want to put this rose a little bit higher, kind of like right here, and then more towards the right. So I'm gonna start kind of right here. And like I said, we start with like an oval, and then we start like going around the oval like this. And then I am dipping my brush in my water jar, dabbing it on my paper towel. I still have some paint in my brush though. And I am going to be making like spirals all around. And I'm trying to use a lot of water because I want this to stay wet. And I'm going to drop in some of this brown color and then continue making spirals. And I'm leaving some of the white on my paper too. Okay. This rose might be kind of about the same size as this one. I didn't mean for that to happen, but it's okay. All right, and then I think I might actually do another one, like right here. Maybe a smaller one. Okay, so I'm taking, again, my pink with my size 4 round brush. And this one, I'm really going to try and make it smaller. So, small little oval, and then I'm going around, dipping my brush in my water jar, dabbing it on my paper towel. So as I go around, my paint becomes lighter. To be honest, painting loose roses is very hard for me. I had to practice a lot, and I feel like I'm still not like super great at them. But I found that if I do more than one layer on them, they tend to look better. And before the paint dries, I'm going to drop in a little bit of this brown color. And it's already kind of drying. Okay, so yeah, that's the first layer. Oh, okay. Bye, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. Green says, I'm still here. Don't worry. I've been watching your videos. Just don't always have time to chat. Oh, that's okay. Okay, now we're going to work the second layer. And this time, the layer is going to be a little darker. We won't use as much water with our paint. And this might be the last layer too. So this time we do want to add some more detail, more color, less water, and yeah, we also want to remember that these are supposed to be loose roses, so we don't want to overwork our roses. So I'm now taking my size 2 round brush here, and I'm taking some of this dusty rose color. This is from the Vintage Pastels pan set, in case you're just joining us. This is the pan set I'm using, and I'm just adding it to my palette here. Like I said, I'm not adding as much water to my paints. And then I'm going to have another color ready with my size 4 round brush. And I'm using this sandy pastel color. I don't have my swatch card. I don't know where it is, so I don't know the actual names of these paints. So I'm sorry, but yeah, it's the sandy peachy color here. Okay. So yeah, I am going to go back into this rose. And again, we are starting in the middle, and the middle will be darker than the rest of the rose. As we work out, our colors will be will be lighter. So I'm actually going to start first around that inner circle here, like this. Okay, and I'm going to have another brush with me. So I'm like working with 3 brushes, which is kind of crazy. The size 8 round brush with just water. I'm gonna kind of move this paint. And I want to be sure that I keep that white on my paper unpainted in some areas. I don't want to paint everywhere. Okay, I'm adding more of this pink, kind of like in the middle. Then I'm taking my blending brush, working this more around the outside. And then I'm going to take that brown, that sandy peachy brown, add some of that. And then I'm taking my blending brush with just water, kind of working this more all the way around. Taking more of that peachy color. Okay. I'm going to add more of this pink. And then going in with my blending brush. I feel like it can be very easy to overwork this. So yeah, you just want to be careful to not overwork your rose. I do that a lot when I try and paint loose roses. So yeah, I'm just kind of adding more pink here and there, taking my blending brush, blending it in, trying to keep the white of my paper unpainted, like here and here, trying not to paint over that. Do you guys have trouble painting roses loosely? Is it hard for you? Yeah, so I'm just taking my blending brush again, blending this. Okay, there's a chance I might add another layer to this rose, but we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to this rose here. And yeah, I probably will go back into this and add more here soon. Okay, so I'm taking more of this pink. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to add this pink in the middle. Take the blending brush with just water, kind of move it around along the spirals. Try not to paint over the white. And then I'm going to drop in this peachy brown while this area is still wet. Taking more of this pink, adding it around, blending it a little bit. Okay. So I like apply the pink, go in with my blending brush, kind of soften it up, move it around. And then I think I'm going to drop in more of this peachy color. Okay, I think this is good for the second layer. I will go back in, I think. Add some more detail. Now we're going into this other rose. And do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit on the outer edge. And then I'm going to add some of that peachy color too. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back into this rose for a third layer. And this time I'm going to add even more detail. So as you can see with this, I have like a lot of like some darker pink areas. So I'm going to add that in to this rose. Jackie. Hi, Jackie. She says, I can't believe I found you live. So excited. Beautiful roses. I love your sweet and soft voice and the way you teach. You're a great teacher. Oh, that is so sweet of you. Thank you. I am so glad you're here and that you can make it to a live tutorial. If you're new to my channel, guys, those of you who are new, I go live every Friday morning at 10 a.m. with a live watercolor tutorial. Okay, so yeah, I'm still using my size 2 round brush for my pink, and this time I'm trying to use as little water as I can because I want this pink to be dark. Okay, and yeah, I'm just kind of adding more detail. I'm not doing as much blending, really. Okay, I'm going to take my size 4 round brush with just water and kind of blend this just a little bit, not too much. And yeah, I'm just kind of making my pink darker in areas, especially in the middle of the rose. As we go out, it's not going to be as dark. Because with rose petals, they are darker in the center because they're more close together. Okay, I'm gonna kind of paint over this area. I feel like this is where these, like this is the layer where the roses actually come together and start to look more like roses. So I add that pink and I go in with a brush with just water, kind of blend it out. I'm still trying not to paint over the areas that I left white because I still want those areas unpainted. Okay, and as we go out, I am going to add a little bit of this peachy brown, kind of add that in some areas out here, and a little bit in the middle. Having 2 different colors for your roses is usually good because it just helps them look more interesting. And then I might add a touch of pink in some areas on the outer edge and then blend them a little bit. Thank you, Sarah. She says the roses are looking beautiful. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this rose. So again, I'm taking this pink here and it does, yeah, I'm trying not to mix a lot of water in here. I'm trying to use as less or as little water as I can. And I'm going to start in the middle like this and go in with my blending brush that just has water and kind of work this, blend it in, and then just, yeah, go around. I'm not doing nearly as much blending in the middle as I did with the other layers. So I apply the paint, Then I take my brush that just has water in it and blend that a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more pink, like right here. Blend that in. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this peachy brown to some areas. And I might even add a little bit more of this darker pink. Let's see, maybe like right here. Okay, I don't want to like overwork this rose. I'm going to leave it for now. And let's move on to this little one up here. Kizzy says, I have to go. It's time to start making dinner. Have fun painting and have a wonderful weekend. You too, Kizzy. Okay, so again, I'm taking this dusty pink, mixing it on my palette with just a tiny bit of water. Again, we don't want to use too much water. And starting in the middle, like this, making spirals around. And I'm taking my blending brush, just has water in it, and blending some of this. Okay. And then I'm going to go around here. Blend this out with my blending brush. Then I'm going to add a little bit of this peach color. Okay. Hi Heather. Thank you. Barbara says, your roses really look 3D. Good. That's what I want. Thank you, Barbara. Jackie says, these remind me so much of the roses I had in my garden at home before we moved into this one. Hated to leave them there. They had the best scent of any roses I've ever smelled. The best scent of any roses I've ever smelled. And she says, I was noticing where everyone is from. I'm from the deep south, Mississippi. Okay. Now, I am going to add some leaves like I did here. And I kind of want to paint them similar to these leaves here, where I dropped in a little bit of that peachy color into them, because I feel like it just makes a really pretty gradient. So, I am cleaning my brushes. And I am going to take this green here from the Vintage Pastels pan set. This is the pan set I'm using for these flowers. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. It'll help YouTube know that you guys like this video, and it'll show this tutorial to more people. So yeah, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, so I want my leaves to have a lot of water. I don't want them to dry too quickly because I want to have time to drop in that other color. So yeah, I'm adding a lot of water here, and I'm using my size 4 round brush. And then I'm going to take my size 2 round brush and let's see, what color did I use? Actually, I can't remember. I think I used this other color. No, it wasn't that one. Oh, I think I used this one here. So I'm going to take some of this color and have it readily available in my brush. Okay. And I'm taking this green. Again, I'm making sure there's a lot of water. Okay. And then it's time to add leaves. So, trying to think here. I'm thinking of having some leaves go this way, like kind of around this rose, like this. Like out here. And then maybe over here, then maybe one over here. So I'm going to turn my painting this way, so it's easy for me to paint these leaves. And I'm going to start with the last leaf down here, and I'm thinking it'll kind of point this way. So I'm going to start at the very tip of the leaf, and then I'm pushing my brush down like this, and pushing back up, making like a stem, and then going to kind of form the leaf a little bit more. I left a little bit of white exposed, and then I'm taking some of this other color, dropping it in. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna have another leaf, kind of, maybe like right here. Okay, I have a lot of paint and water in my brush, so I'm going to dab my brush on my paper towel. And then render this leaf a little bit more. Add some of this other color to it. Okay, and then yeah, I think I'm going to add another leaf like right here. But maybe have it point more this way. So again, I'm using the very tip of my brush for the end. Then I'm pushing down, and then I'm pushing back up like this. And then I'm going to add this other color, dab it in to the leaf. How are you guys doing? How are your roses coming along? Let me know. Taking more of this green. This time I won't have as much water or paint my brush because I think I had just too much. And I'm going to add, I'm thinking a leaf here, like a larger one, and then a smaller one like here. And then take this color, this other color, dab it in. Okay, and then yeah, another leaf like right here, maybe like a tiny one. And I'm going to add a leaf kind of like right here in between these two roses. So I'm using the tip of my brush. Okay. Then maybe try, maybe I'll add one like right here. Let's see. I guess we'll do it. Let's do it. Okay. I just feel like maybe I should add something here. So I'm gonna add a leaf here too. Do I want one down or like this way? I think I'll try and do a little leaf like right here. Okay, kind of too small. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Jackie says, I love the way you're painting with more than one brush in your hands. That is such a great technique. I'm looking forward to trying to paint some butterflies and animals like you do. Aww. Did you know, Jackie? I don't know if you know, but I have a butterfly challenge, a 10-day butterfly challenge that we did in August. And it's a lot like my bird challenge, and they come with tutorials, and it's free. So if you don't know about that and you want to sign up, let me know. You can email me and I can send you the link or something. Art by Izzy says, your roses and leaves look so great. I totally failed. You know what? Art by Izzy, or Izzy, you should have seen me yesterday, because I really wanted to do a loose leaf tutorial for like the longest time, but I wasn't very good. I spent hours practicing and like I failed a lot. Let's just say that. I failed a lot. So you're not alone. Okay, I'm gonna add some final touches now to my rose painting. And I'm cleaning my brushes because I'm going to get out my pink again. I feel like I kind of want to add a little bit more to my, at least to this bottom row. So I'm taking this pink here, this dusty pink. I'm just adding enough water to make it easy to paint with. And I'm just going to add a little bit, like right here. And then blend with this other brush that just has water. And yeah, Jackie mentioned my technique of using more than one brush. I I've picked this up, I don't know, within the last year, and I have been doing it now with almost every one of my paintings recently, and it's so convenient, or like it's efficient, and I don't have to constantly clean my brush. And I usually like to have a brush that I blend with too, like a blending brush that's clean and it just has water in it. And yeah, it's just a technique that I started doing, and it's been great. So yeah, I'm just adding some final touches to these roses before I move on to the last flower. And this last flower is probably, yeah, it's going to be easier than these roses. So yeah, I'm kind of glad we're getting these roses out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more to this rose up here. And then I'm thinking of adding some fun paint splatters like we did with the lavender here. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I might even add touches of gold to my paintings. Maybe in the end, if you guys would like me to show you how I do that, I will do that live with you guys. Yeah, I am taking this pink here again, but with my size 4 round brush. Putting it here on my palette, and I'm mixing a lot of water in here because when we do the paint splatters, we want it to be very, very wet. Okay, and then like we did with the lavender, you put out your finger and you just tap above your painting. Okay. And just know you'll get things wet, so you wanna, like, you'll get things on your desk with paint. So just beware. And I feel like this is good. I feel like we can definitely go overboard with paint splatters, so I feel like the least amount is the better. Let's see, Heather says, loose painting is so hard. It's like learning a whole different skill. I know what you mean, Heather. It is so difficult. So difficult. I am used to painting realistically, and painting loosely is quite challenging. Okay, now we're going to paint flowers like this. Art by Izzy says, yay, gold would be perfect. Awesome. Yeah, so at the end of this tutorial, I will add gold to these little paintings, and I will show you how I do that. Jackie says, where do I find your email address for the Butterfly Challenge videos? Oh, just email me at AllisonLionArt@gmail.com. Or if you follow me on Instagram, you can send me a message too. That'll work. No, you're not too vocal at all. No, not at all. Okay, now I have this sheet of scrap paper for this one. This is just not a 4x6 size like these other two. I was thinking of maybe making this into a bookmark, so I was thinking of making it smaller, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's kind of why I didn't round the edges yet, like I did here. All right. So for these flowers, we want, well, of course, you can use whatever kind of color you want. I'm using yellow, and then a little bit of, I think I used pink too. Okay. So we want to get a yellow. I'm using this yellow here that comes with the Vintage Pastels pan set. So So I'm taking this, adding it to my palette here, mixing water in it. And then I'm going to use my size 4 round brush for the other color that we will be dabbing into the yellow. This is like the secondary color. And I think I might, trying to figure out what color. I think I used pink. This pink here maybe. So I'll probably just use this pink that's on my palette already. Okay. So what I am going to do, I'm going to first paint in some larger flowers around, and then we'll fill in the rest of the areas with smaller flowers and leaves. So you want to figure out where you want to paint your larger flowers. So I'm thinking of going along with what I have here. So maybe a large flower here and then here. Okay, so here we go. So I am going to do one that has like 3 petals. So here's a petal. They're kind of irregular. They're not like perfectly round. And then like another one here. And then here. And I feel like I need to use my larger brush for these flowers. And I'm kind of doing a little one here that kind of pokes out. And then I'm going to dab a little bit of pink at the bottom. And then let that blend in to the yellow. All right. So I'm cleaning my brushes now. I decided that I want to use my size 4 round brush for the yellow. So I'm just cleaning my brushes. And then I'll use my size 2 round brush for the pink. And then we'll paint in the stem. Hey guys, can you see me? I'm sorry. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Someone tried to call me. I'm sorry about that. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Darn, okay. I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, good. Good, okay. All right. So, like I was saying, I'm going to take my size 4 round brush and grab the yellow. Good. Thank you guys for letting me know that you can see and hear me. Good to know. Okay. And I'm adding water to it. Then I'm also, with my size 2 round brush, I'm going to use that pink. Okay, and then again, yeah, we're going off of this here, or at least I am. And yeah, so these petals are like very loose. So I kind of like make one here, make one here. They're not like perfectly round. And I'm leaving even like a little bit of white in some areas too. I'm going to drop in a little bit of this pink, and that's a lot. So I'm going to kind of dab at that. Okay. And yeah, so you just want to add your larger flowers first. They're just very loose, very fun. Okay, I think I'm gonna add one like right here. Maybe this one, I'll have like 2 larger petals like this, and then like a few smaller ones. I'm grabbing more of this pink. Do you guys like easy tutorials like this? Or I guess, I mean, it's okay if it's difficult for you because it's difficult for me. Painting loosely is difficult. But do you want to see more loose painting like this, or do you prefer realistic? Let me know. Okay, and I am going to maybe add a larger one up here. Okay, that's a lot of pink. Okay, now I'm going to fill in the white areas with smaller flowers. So these ones will look more kind of like this, not as open. Barbara says, I prefer realistic, but I'm glad to make these flowers with you. Aww. Yeah, so I was thinking, guys, like I've been trying to plan out my next tutorials. So I was wondering what you guys want to paint. Let's see, some ideas I had are like tulips, like realistic tulips, realistic daffodils, but I could also do loose too, or at least try to do loose. Okay, maybe this one I'll have it be more like open, like this. This one looks very wonky. It's fine. All right, I'm gonna add a tiny one, maybe like right here. Joy says tulips would be great. Awesome. Yeah, those are just a few ideas I have. I also have an idea of like super simple beginner friendly tutorials too, like very simple landscapes. I don't know if you guys are into that though, or should I focus more on like realistic tutorials that aren't as beginner friendly? I don't know. I would love to know your thoughts. Okay. I think I might add maybe a tiny one over here. I don't know yet. We'll see. We will see. Barb says, I'm a beginner and up for anything beginner. Awesome. Barbara says, a galaxy sky. That would be so fun. Yeah, I have been kind of wanting to paint something like that. Art by Izzy says, I really enjoy it right now. Your explanations and way of painting is so good. Okay, good. Good to know. All right, now you're going to go back into each of these flowers and add a, what are they called? What is this called? It's the middle part of the flower. There's like a term for it, and I forget what it is, to be honest. But we're going to add that in. Okay, so I'm going to take my size 2 round brush here, and I'm going to use stamens. That's it, Heather. Thank you so much. That's the word I was trying to think of. So I'm going to take this sandy, peachy color here. Just straight from my pan. I'm not really going to mix it into my paint palette. And I'm just going to add this in to basically all the larger flowers. So, like that. This one, this flower is just kind of like a blob. It's fine. Here we go. You can also add another layer of petals too, if you want, before doing this. I might add little tiny ones on this one and this one. Barb says, just tuned in. What size brushes are you using? This is a size 2 round brush. This is a size 4 round brush. And I used this size 8 round brush for some of my painting. And these are my silver black velvet brushes. And yeah, all of the supplies I am using are in the description below too for you guys. Okay, next we're going to paint in the green. So I'm just using the same green I've been using for all of these paintings, and I kind of like that because it kind of just helps make these paintings look like more cohesive. So for the leaves, I'm going to use my size 4 round brush. Jackie says variety is usually a good thing. If most of your tutorials are more realistic, then some loose painting is a great idea. Obviously, your audience likes pretty much anything you do. Thanks for the tips, Jackie. Paints. I am using the Vintage Pastels pan set from Art Philosophy. And my paper is just scrap paper for my larger paintings, and it's cold press from Arches. Oh, good. Okay. Me too, Barb. I love my silver black velvet brushes. They're so worth the money. All right, so I'm taking the green here from this pan set and just adding it to my palette, adding water to it too. Okay, and then I'm taking my size 2 round brush, and like the other leaves in the other paintings, I'm going to drop in some of this color here. It's kind of like a grayish sandy green, like there's a hint of green to it. And I'm adding water to this too. Okay, first we'll paint in the stems. I'm going to have them kind of not really like touching my flowers, just kind of have them floating. Okay. And yeah, I'm using the very tip of my brush for these. I want my stems to be as thin as I can. And then I am going to make like a little green around the blooms, like this. I didn't really do that with this one over here. I just thought it would look cute. So those of you who have been here or are painting with me, how are you liking this tutorial? Am I doing okay with the loose flowers? Okay, now I'm going to add some leaves. So I'm just taking more of this green here, adding it to my palette, adding water to it too. And now I'm going to add leaves to the stems. So I'm using the very tip, press down, push up. Down, up, tip, down, up. And I do want to kind of dab in some of this other color. Okay, this little guy, I'm just kind of making tiny leaves there. Oh, and yeah, drop in a little bit of this other color into them. And Art by Izzy says that she just loves it. Yay! So which of these flowers is your favorite? My favorite ones, I think might be the roses, which is funny because those are like the hardest ones for me. But I feel like they might be my favorite too. Okay, I need to get more of this green. Hi, Honey Bear. Good morning. That's okay, you're late. And they say, what type of flowers are you painting? Honestly, these ones here, I don't know. They're just kind of made up flowers. I don't really know what they are, but we painted lavender too, and roses. Anna, hi Anna. They say the muted colors make my heart happy. I know, right? I love these colors. They're so beautiful. The colors in this pan set are just, I don't know, they're just beautiful. I love muted pastel colors. Okay, I'm gonna add some more leaves to this one. Dab in a little bit of this other color. And then now we're going to add a few flowing leaves like I did for here. So I added a few other like leaves in some areas that I felt like needed something. Sarah says the lavender one is my favorite. Barbara says, I was looking for orange flowers for a background on a butterfly coloring page. I think that these ones are perfect. Oh yeah. I think these would look beautiful, Barbara. Barb says, very relaxing colors. I know, aren't they? Honey Bear says, the rose and yellow flowers are my favorite. And they say, the colors are muted and so aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, I love these colors. I love them. I thought it'd be perfect for loose flowers. All right, so yeah, I have my colors ready in my brushes. One has green, the other one has the other color I'm dropping into my green. And I think I might add a leaf like right here. So again, I'm using the tip of my brush, push down, push back up. Dabbing in another color. And then maybe like right here, tip, push down, push back up. Then one here, tip, down, up. Then I'm kind of rendering this a little bit more. Okay. Right, and then I'm gonna add a leaf here. I feel like I need more green. Okay. Oops. I kind of messed up. All right. And then I think I'm going to add a leaf like right here. And then maybe a tiny one right here. I feel like it's really easy to go overboard. It's good to have some negative space, so you don't want to fill your painting too much. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to add some fun paint splatters, like the other paintings I did, like these. So I think I'm going to use yellow for my paint splatters. Art by Izzy says that her favorite flower of this tutorial is the lavender. Yeah, mine too. I feel like I would like it better if I maybe did something more down here. Maybe add more grass down here. Okay. So I'm taking my size 4 round brush, taking this yellow here. And then like I said with the other splatters, you just want to make sure there's a lot of water. You want your brush to be wet. And then, oops, I like smeared my paint right there. It's okay, it's fine. All right, so then you want to hold your finger out like this and then dab. Like that. All right, so as promised, it's the end of the tutorial, but I'm going to add some gold. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I need to go get my gold paint. I will be right back. Okay, so the gold I'm using is in the Metallic Accents pan set, and I will link this in the description of the video for you. But yeah, it comes with all these different kinds of metallic paints, and I use this gold the most out of all these metallic colors. So I'm just going to remove this. Do you guys have metallic gold, or if not, do you think you'll ever get some? It's really fun to add gold to watercolor paintings. Okay, and I'm gonna take my size. Okay, hold on. First, I need to figure out what I even wanna do exactly. I think I'm gonna add some accents, gold accents to each of these paintings, and then maybe add a little bit of gold splatters too. So I'm going to take my size 4 round brush. Barb says, I have been looking for a metallic set. Well, this is a good start. The metallic accents is a really good set. Has lots of different colors in it too. You can also check out kmswatercolor.com. I do have a 10% off coupon code to her shop, although I don't think I linked it in the description of this video. But she has beautiful handmade metallic and glittery paints that I use a lot. Okay, I'm just kind of clearing a spot on my palette here. I'm taking my size 4 round brush, reactivating this gold. I guess I can just paint straight from this pan, so maybe I'll do that. And I'm going to blend with my size 8 round brush. Sarah says, I have some new paints that are silver, gold, and bronze, but have not used them yet. Ooh, are you going to use them for these paintings, Sarah? Jackie says, when you make a little mistake, like smudging the paint, that doesn't make us think you're not a good artist. It just makes us think you're real, and that's a good thing. Thanks, Jackie. Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, when I mess up on live tutorials, sometimes I'm like, oh no, you know, here I am trying to teach you guys or encourage you guys to paint, and I'm like messing up. Okay, so for the lavender painting, I'm going to add gold to the leaves. So I just dabbed on a little bit of this gold, and then with my other brush here with just water, I'm going to kind of just blend it into my leaf. And I'll do this for all of the leaves. I feel like this will go very beautifully with the purple. Gold and purple together are just so pretty. So is gold and pink. So I feel like this is going to look really nice with the roses. All right, and I'll add the paint splatters with the gold last for all of the painting. So let's move on to the roses. Here, I think I will add it to the leaves too, and maybe just a little bit to the roses. Honey Bear says, I really like the gold paints, but sadly I don't have enough money. That's okay. Your painting will still be beautiful without the gold. Sarah says, I'm going to paint the circle gold that the deer is in from the deer tutorial. I love that idea, Sarah. I think that would be so beautiful. So, so beautiful. All right, and then yeah, I'm going to add just a touch in some areas on these roses. Just a little bit. I don't want to go overboard. It's just very easy to do with when you paint with gold. It's so easy to get carried away because it's a lot of fun and gold is just really pretty. I love the warmth this gives the roses. Okay. And now this painting. That's true. Michael's Craft Stores has this pan set. And so does Hobby Lobby because I got mine at Hobby Lobby. Well, like 2 years ago. I don't know if it's still there. But if you're not in the US, it might, like, I don't know if you get those stores outside the US. Okay, I'm taking this gold again with my size 4 round brush. And I'm going to add it to, maybe not every leaf because that's a lot. I'm going to add it to some of the leaves. By the way, guys, if you don't know, my monthly membership, Nature with Watercolor, is currently open. And it's only open a few times a year. And it closes in 1 week, exactly 1 week from today. So if you want to learn more about it, there's a link to it in the description of this video. And it's, yeah, a lot comes with the membership. You get tutorials, nature-inspired tutorials. You get a community. You gotta do virtual meetups too with me and other members. Just a lot of different things. So yeah, I invite you to check it out if you would like to see if it's for you or not. And then yeah, I'm going to add this gold in a few areas on the petals, not too much. Just a little touch of gold. Okay, I think I'm gonna add a little bit over here on this guy. This is so fun. I just love adding gold. Fallon says, I have to go, but I loved hanging. Hope you have a great weekend. You too, Fallon. That's okay. That's okay. I knew what you meant. Honey Bear says, my comments about the flower painting disappears. Oh, that's weird. YouTube is weird sometimes. Sometimes they, like with the live chat, they delete some people's comments. Okay, a bit more here. I'll add some there. Okay. I feel like getting carried away. All right. Maybe I'll add a touch more to this one. All right. Cool. I know, Izzy, I can't stop either. It's addicting. It's so addicting. All right, so now we're going to add the gold splatters. So this time I will add this gold to my palette here, just so I can add a ton of water to it. So I'm adding it to my palette, adding water. Filling up my brush. And then going to do some splatters on each of these paintings. All right, I feel like I need to be careful because I will go overboard. It's just what happens when I add paint splatters, especially gold paint splatters. Okay, I'm gonna get some more gold on my palette. Add more water to it. All right. And there we go. I will give you a close-up of these paintings for you guys. I feel like this one here has a ton of paint splatters. So let me know what you think of this tutorial in the comments or in the live chat. It was so much fun. And yeah, there we go. There are the paintings. These are my other ones that I kind of practiced with too. These I will turn into bookmarks. In my next studio vlog coming on Tuesday, I am making bookmarks. So you can look forward to that. So if you want to see how I make bookmarks, stay tuned. There's the chat. Honey Bear says they look like dandelions. They do, don't they? Barb says, I can't wait to go back and watch the lavender and roses. And then she says, I love them all. Barbara says, I liked it. I made 2 bookmarks. Nice. Awesome. Izzy says, I never thought that I would paint these so good. Love the result. Thank you so much. Thank you for another fun tutorial. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you next Friday for the other live tutorial. I don't really know yet what it'll be. I'm thinking maybe a tulip, but we'll see. Eventually I will do a tulip tutorial just because I've been wanting to paint them forever, and I feel like it'll be a good tutorial to do. I know Honey Bear is always so sad that it ends. It's always sad to say goodbye. Oh, that's okay, Barbara. The roses were the most challenging for me. They are so hard for me to do. But yeah, I am pretty happy with how mine turned out, but I practiced a ton. I practiced for hours this week for this tutorial. All right, guys, I'm gonna say bye, and I hope you have a great weekend. Heather, Honey Bear, Kizzy. Oh, Kizzy came back. I hope you enjoy your weekend, Kizzy, and everyone else. Barbara, Izzy, Barb, Des. Hi, Des. Sarah, Jackie, Fallon was here. Yeah, okay. I guess I should go now. Have a great weekend. Take care. Again, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, it would mean a lot to me. That just tells YouTube that people like this, and they'll show this tutorial to more people. And yeah, thank you so much for your support on this channel. It means the world to me, and I will see you next Friday or on Tuesday if you watch my vlog. Bye. Thank you guys so much. Take care.